Yo, Pokey26 here, and I just wanted to make a sort of overview of my accomplishments and what I was able to attain during my playing of Umamusume Pretty Derby on the, global version, desktop version, etc. And this is mostly, I guess, partly for just myself, but partly, if anyone just wants to see like what I was able to do and so on in the time I spent. I had spent quite a bit of time, but at this moment I'm taking a step back from the game, and so this is mostly just a sort of recap, overview, etc. of all the achievements, what I was able to do in my time. So, take it as you will, but yeah, this is like, this is my progress tab. Obviously, I've completed quite a bit of careers, decent scores, and done all the races. Retained class 6 all the time. Got above 600k, even though I didn't try too much on team trials. Like, I definitely improved my team trials team occasionally to make sure that I could stay in class 6. But I didn't go full out on it, I guess. It's just like an occasional run here and there. Through the time I played, decent amount of fans as well, 370 million, which, how many months has it been? I think it's like August, September, October, November, December. So like, I think I'm averaging probably around 2 million or a little over 2 million fans a day. Pretty good. Especially considering I didn't go too much out of my way for it. Usually it was just continually doing runs and doing, doing champions meeting teams, which don't necessarily get a lot of fans, but I was still able to get a decent amount of fans. Yeah, that's kind of my progress tab there. And then moving on from that, we got my titles I've earned. So there's definitely quite a few I'm still missing. I'm not sure if I could technically just get this. Like, it's possible if I just put in like all my top ranks, maybe I'm close to this or something, but probably not. I assume you need more than what I have, because sometimes your ranked up trainees are not necessarily the highest ranked team type of thing. But yeah, whole thing. Anyways, as you can see, we got a decent amount of titles. There's definitely still quite a bit I'm missing as well. A few of these, like the track ones from like dirt and sprint tracks, I don't necessarily have yet, but we have most of the titles that we could get fairly easily, at least. And we have quite a bit of like the fan club ones and new fan ones from like watching stuff. I think there's still a few other things I need to watch. Like, I haven't actually watched through some of these yet. I'm planning to still do so on a few, such as Suzuka's at least. And probably like Ogre's, now that I have Christmas Ogre. But generally I've watched them through, and I do actually watch them rather than skip through. But yeah, we got Marzensky, highest fan, because she's one of the early 3 stars I had, and I obviously ran her a lot in career. So we got pretty much all these titles as well. We're missing the first one, and sad story, I was actually like one, I think it's like one daily race win or like one team trial thing or something. I think it's like one daily race win away from the last quest on the last day. And I couldn't, it didn't let me like do any more to get it. And then event ended and I couldn't get it. I thought there was still like another 3 days, but the extra 3 days are there just to claim rewards, I think, rather than complete them. Something like that. So sadly I missed the first one, but we have all the other titles. And we have platinum on pretty much everything apart from Leo, which we only have gold on. So sadly I got second place in Group A finals for Leo, but everything else platinum, platinum, platinum. So good results, especially considering I didn't have MLB Kitas on until like the last one or two. I can't remember if Libra was MLB Kitas on yet or not. I think it might have been after. Or I think Kitazan was after, I'm not sure. Otherwise, pretty good for titles. Could look at my trainees a bit, just kind of check everything out. I don't actually have much 4 stars. In fact, I only just got these 4 stars recently when I rolled for Christmas Ogre. And then I used some statues. Before that, I haven't actually used statues, so I still have like around 1,000 statues to use even. So technically, I could have more 4 stars right now if I wanted, if I just wanted to blow through the statues I have. But, you know, we got mostly 3 stars on everyone apart from these 5 at the bottom. But I assume if I ever roll on trainees enough, or if they show up in the legend races, they could easily be 3-starred. Yeah, not bad. Obviously 3 stars the key mark, of course, because then you get their unique skill boosted. And then let's see what else. We still have like hint books and stuff we can use. We got potential levels like almost fully unlocked on everyone. And then the ones I'm missing, I could unlock, but I just haven't felt the need to. Maybe this one for if I was using this in team trials. But otherwise, yeah. Then we can look at support cards. What would be the best to look at? No, not that one. We have quite a lot of extra converted currency there. Nothing to really use it on. But yeah, as you can see, we have alright support cards, but I don't actually have that much for SSRs. I have like pretty much all the SRs maxed out, but SSRs are a bit lacking apart from having Kitasan MLB. And then there's a couple like Biko that are at 40. Satono Diamond at 40. And then, you know, some that are decent like this just for sparks to get like playtimes over and stuff like that. Otherwise, SRs are obviously all max because I've rolled a ton on Kitasan. Sadly, I rolled 400 on Kitasan banner the first time and then 400 the second time, and then still had to use the SSR voucher selector thing just to get it MLB because I didn't get a single Kitasan in 800 pulls, but you know, that's how it is. But yeah, decent collection. I did just focus on uncapping them all, and I know some people probably like sell the extra cards if it's a card they're never going to use, particularly SSRs, but like in the storage, because I think you can untick the hide cards you need to uncap and just get rid of them for cleats. But I tend to just keep them if it's not like beyond duplicates. And then, you know, story, obviously we've checked all these out, apart from like watching a few. There's definitely a few I still need to check with Suzuka Ogre that I just got. And then I think like Taishin, Manhattan Cafe, Ishiakibono, that's it. But yeah, otherwise watch them. And then, man, what else is there to discuss? I guess the only thing left is like looking at what I've compiled over time, like what my inventory looks like, and we have quite a lot of stuff, or I have quite a lot of stuff, which is I got a bunch of these toughness, TP usage things, a bunch of the carrot jellies, alarm clocks, parfaits, and so on. Decent all around here. Maybe sprint shoes a little low because I used some of them recently to upgrade trainees or something. Same with this sash. But otherwise, we have generally a lot. We got the crystals, crystal shards, book of hints, good amount of star pieces across the board, including some that closest to the next star, like 4-star and so on. And then even have some tickets. We still got the Head Start voucher even. I never actually used it. I was going to use it on Suzuka if I didn't get her at some point, but I ended up getting Suzuka from like one of the random 3-star rewards at some point, which was pretty cool because she was who I wanted the most from it. So now I have the Head Start voucher still just there, which could be one of the ones I don't have, like McQueen or Rudolph, or technically Ogre, but now we got Christmas Ogre anyways. Rice Shower, I'm still missing as well. Tons of club points, friend points, and 1100 statues actually. So yeah, obviously could get a bunch of higher star trainees if I wanted. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this account. I've put in a lot of time to it, but at this point I feel like the game, like if I'm gonna come out on the game, it's just the game takes up a bit too much time, and to be honest, it doesn't change much after you've kind of built up what you have. Like I'm mostly just doing the same runs over and over and over, right? So at some point it's just a little too repetitive, not enough new stuff, and if you ever want new stuff, you suddenly have to blow away all your carrots and they don't necessarily get you anything. Like I said, I dropped 60k carrots just to upgrade Kitazan. Not even do anything else, but just upgrade Kitazan, and it didn't even work, right? Like I still had to use the voucher, like I was that unlucky. So things could be better or easier or whatever, and when I think about that, I'm just like, the future, what am I gonna do in the future? I'm sitting at like 30k carrots, which is still a good amount, but to unlock some of the new SSRs, I have to start getting lucky on rolling and stuff to ever have a chance at them to get like a meaningful amount. And when I think about that, I'm just like, I'm probably just going to be using the same cards forever and then just borrowing what I need, right? Borrow Super Creek if I need Super Creek, borrow Fine Motion if I need Fine Motion, or in the future, borrow like, was it like Fukukitaru or Tachyon or Marzinski or something, those things. And it's like, my main my main tools to use of cards and trainees and stuff isn't going to change that much. Maybe I get some new trainees, maybe I get Valentine Bourbon for instance, whatever, but a lot of what I have is going to stay the same, and it just felt a little too repetitive on top of taking too much time. The current career Unity wasn't that interesting. I would say it's worse than the URA finale career. I'm not sure how the next one is, the Make a New Track, but I've heard that one also takes up a lot of time, or like even more time, so yeah. And then I did want to look at this real quick as the last thing. So filter, we want to look at my 3 stars, I guess. which I guess we'll do this, and then the rest doesn't matter. Yeah, these are my 3 stars. As you can see, I did get quite a few 3 stars. I'm not sure how many of them are 9 stars, but I would assume probably around 10, give or take a few, are like 9 stars. Maybe less than 10 or 9 stars. And then there's quite a few that are like 8 stars, because some of them were during runs that were how to say it, like champions meeting runs, and sometimes the champions meeting borrows or the veterans I'm using myself are not necessarily 3-star, because the 2-star ones work better. Maybe they have more sparks on that I need in other aspects. But yeah, overall, pretty solid collection of 3 stars, and some of them are pretty decent as well. Like this one's pretty solid, I would say. And you know, I got some others that I think are decently solid. 3 power, 3 medium. This one's kind of weird because it's 3 guts, but it's actually pretty strong with like 5 groundwork and stuff too. Got quite a few like 9-star staminas somewhere. Yeah, like this one's a 9-star stamina, 4 mile, 2 turf. So good collection there, but that is pretty much it. Got some S rank. I even used these in my last champions meeting, and this was actually the winner there. So nice to get a win with Suzuka. Yeah, that is basically an overview of what I've accomplished, and I definitely enjoyed my time in this game, but at this point I do feel like I want to take a step back and just use my time elsewhere. So that'll be it for now on my Umamusume journey, but who knows, maybe I'll revisit the game, maybe I'll want to play again. I'm still going to check out some of the story stuff. You know, I might watch some of the stories that I'm interested in, particularly Suzuka's and so on, but otherwise that's it for playing for now, pretty much. And yeah, hopefully anyone who did check this out and wanted to see like what I've done, maybe compare it to yourself, or you know, like what you've done, great, I guess. that's what this video is. And yeah, if I reflect upon this video myself in the future, I'd say, you know, I enjoyed the time I spent, but at some point you don't necessarily want to spend even more time. It's like this is kind of the mark where it's like, I've done what I wanted, and now it's time to move on. So yeah, it was fun while it lasted.